Hi guys, before I get started, I just want to introduce myself because I'm in a new group and my friends know me as the Michael Myers fanatic or the Myers fan or whichever you want to call me. But I usually make videos pertaining to the horror genre or specifically Halloween. But this time I'm going to talk about Final Fantasy because it was requested by a fan. Basically, what I did about 5 years ago was I had written a script that would follow up to the storylines of Final Fantasy X and X-2. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge fan, but I am a fan of those two games. And in the script for the video game, it follows the storyline of X and X-2. Yuna saved the world from Vegnagun, which is like this giant piece of machinery, or machina as they call it, that wanted to destroy the world. Actually, Vegnagun didn't want to do it, but the guy that was operating Vegnagun, which is Shuyin, wanted to destroy it. Because he was sad because his lover, Lyn, died, and I can understand that. But anyway, in X3 or X-3, whichever you want to call it, somehow the Faith dreams Tidus back up and he's alive again. Now, keep in mind that I wrote this script 5 years ago. I lost the script, by the way. I don't have it anymore, so I'm going by what I can remember. And what I remember is Yuna has a baby. How she had the baby, I don't remember. I know it's terrible, but you have to remember, you did ask me, so I'm telling you. But the problem is, I don't remember everything that I wrote down. Yuna had a baby by Tidus somehow when he got resurrected. And when they're in this facility getting medical attention, there's a storm. And, you know, everyone's wondering what's going on. And then that's when they find out that Sin is back. And for those that don't know, Sin was violence incarnate. He was a giant fish-like creature. And with all this happening, they have to get the Aeons back. Yuna finds a way to get the Aeons back. And you also asked me about characters. The characters are basically the same, with the exception of Auron. He's not in this game because he's dead. And there's no way he can come back. The dead can't come back. And some of you are going to say, well, how did Tidus come back? Well, that's a different story. Tidus was a dream. Therefore, when he died, he was between life and death. So that's how he was able to come back. But Auron actually did die. There's no doubt about that. So there will be no coming back for him. The only new characters that I wanted in the story would probably be Yuna's daughter. I think she had a daughter, if I'm not mistaken. In my script, anyway. But that's basically it. They fight Sin all over again. I also said that I had an idea for a movie. The movie would also be based on the video games, but again, since I'm biased towards X and X-2, the movie is also centered around that storyline. But the movie takes a more realistic approach. There's magic in it, but just not as much. The airships, I guess we could keep those. And I guess they would look more like spaceships or airplanes, I don't know. And the characters would have more realistic aspects to them, like Tidus would be a rebellious teenager, drinking and smoking, staying out till late. His father's an alcoholic. Riku would be a chemist, always experimenting with things like bombs that she knows how to make, and she's always making explosives and things like that. Yuna would be a priestess, always praying in the temple and worshipping Yevon and stuff like that. Wakka would be this Native American chief. The reason why I made him a Native American is because, in my opinion, whenever I played the games, he always sounded like one. But then again, that's just my opinion. Lulu would be this goth type character. Nails painted black, face painted black, stuff like that. Kimahri, his family would be a race of gorilla, primate / humanoid type hybrid beings. Basically, what happens in the beginning of the movie version is Riku's in class and she's talking about a science project that she created. The next thing you know, a big tidal wave comes crashing through the window of the school and it knocks everybody over. But the people that are still on their feet start running. To make a long story short, news reporters, they're all on the scene talking about the huge tidal wave, and you have people saying that they saw this giant fish and they're all afraid of it. Riku goes home and tells her dad that this giant fish attacked the school, and she goes down to her basement and she's trying to figure out chemicals that she can make to destroy it. And Sid would be this dealer, like instead of a car dealer, he deals spaceships and stuff like that. And they would meet Wakka in the mountains somewhere because they're trying to find a way to destroy Sin. And Wakka starts doing all this Native American chanting and all this stuff. See, I can be honest and admit that my idea is a little bit off the wall. But I want a more realistic approach to the film. Because if you notice, that's what they're doing nowadays anyway. They're giving movies more realistic aspects to them. There would be magic in the film, it's just that there would be more realism than magic. That's the way I want it to be. That's the way it would be. I don't really remember too much about the video game script that I had written. I really appreciate you guys listening to my idea. And that's basically it. Riku is a chemist. I'm going to go over it again. Riku's a chemist. Wakka is a Native American chief. Lulu is a goth. Tidus would be a rebellious teenager, staying out at clubs and stuff like that, getting all the pretty girls. Jecht, his father, is an alcoholic that verbally abuses him. Tidus's mother passed away, she had cancer, and basically Jecht isn't but a single father. Auron, wow, I didn't mention him. Auron was an army veteran that got his arm blown off in a war. And that's basically it. Remember what I said. It would follow the same rules as the game, but it would have a more realistic approach than magical. And that's basically it. Thank you for listening. I'm the Michael Myers Fanatic. It's been a pleasure talking to you Final Fantasy fans, and I approve this message.